Welcome to a journey into the origins of thought, where we will explore the minds that shape the very foundations of our understanding. Hello, my name is Mike, and I am the host of Mind Escape Podcast. I am happy to share my new series called Masters of Rhetoric. The goal is to draw from the earliest philosophers, scientists, and critical thinkers to help navigate the current technological paradigm. In a world where divisive and heuristic rhetoric often dominate online spaces, I believe it's crucial to return to the roots of dialectic. This approach can offer the thoughtful discourse that humanity desperately needs today. So join us on this philosophical adventure by subscribing to our channel and podcast. Engage with us through your comments and critiques. We're excited to hear your thoughts. Let's embark on this journey together with Masters of Rhetoric. Enjoy the series. Nothing exists except atoms and empty space. Everything else is opinion. Attributed to Democritus. Masters of Rhetoric, episode number 10, Democritus and the Atom. Democritus, why he matters. Democritus lived roughly between 460 and 370 BC. He was one of the first to propose a fully materialist ontology. All that exists is atoms and void. Along with his teacher Leucippus, he developed the first atomic theory centuries before modern atomic science. His ideas were ignored or suppressed by Plato and Aristotle, but deeply influenced Epicureanism, Lucretius, and later scientific thought. The Democritus-Leucippus controversy. Leucippus lived roughly during the 5th century BC. He was considered the originator of atomism in ancient sources. He wrote on the order of the universe, which is now lost. He is said to be the first to propose the void as real, allowing motion to occur. In Aristotle's Metaphysics, A4, Leucippus and his associate Democritus say the full and the empty are the elements. Democritus, who roughly lived between 460 and 370 BC, was a student of Leucippus. He systematized and expanded atomic theory. He wrote over 70 works, including On Nature, On the Mind, Cosmology, Causes, and they're all lost. We know his ideas through Aristotle, Theophrastus, and later atomists. Controversy. Epicurus later claimed Leucippus never existed, crediting all of atomism to Democritus. Modern scholars generally believe Leucippus existed, but Democritus was the greater contributor. The core of ancient atomism. Number 1. Atoms, or uncuttable units. Indivisible, eternal, and imperceptible. Differ only in shape, size, order, and position. Combine to form all material things. Void, or empty space. Number 2. Void, or empty space. Absolutely necessary for motion and separation. Bold move. Void is real, not non-being, a radical break from Parmenides. Number 3. Mechanism over purpose. No teleology. Atoms move and collide by necessity, not purpose. He opposed Aristotle's final causes and Plato's forms. Number 4. Perception and knowledge. 2 types of knowledge. Legitimate, which is through reason, and bastard, which is through the senses. Sensory data is subjective, but reason can uncover true reality, atoms and void. Epistemological legacy. Democritus was a skeptical realist and trusted reason over the senses, but he did not deny perception entirely. The anecdote, dust in the light. Anecdote summary. A legend says that Democritus sat in a dusty shed or darkened room and noticed particles floating in a shaft of sunlight. This visual led him to theorize all visible objects are made up of smaller, invisible particles. Historical status. There is no direct ancient source confirming this anecdote. It appears to be a later embellishment, possibly inspired by Lucretius, who uses a similar metaphor in De Rerum Natura in the 1st century BC. Lucretius, On the Nature of Things. Observe what happens when sunbeams are led into a dark room. You will see a multitude of tiny bodies. It is through the movement of these atoms that all things come to be. Conclusion. While the dust and light image is likely apocryphal for Democritus, it accurately illustrates the core idea, which is that reality consists of tiny unseen particles in motion. Scientific and philosophical legacy. Democritus anticipated modern atomism. In the 18th and 19th century, there was a revival. Chemist John Dalton echoes Democritus's framework. Modern physics obviously differs. Quantum particles and classical atoms are not the same thing, but the intuition remains profound. Lack of experimentation. Definitely a problem. Atomism was entirely theoretical, no empirical proof or method. He was criticized by Plato and Aristotle for being an atheistic materialist. Inspired. Democritus inspired Epicurus, which added free will to atomism, Lucretius, which is a poetic expression of atomism, and modern secular science. Democritus was suppressed in the Platonic Academy, Christianized metaphysics seen as dangerous to the soul and purpose-driven cosmos. Democritus, the theoretical physicist before physics. Democritus was one of the boldest thinkers of antiquity. While Plato gazed at forms and Aristotle structured the world by purpose, Democritus saw reality as raw, chaotic, and an impersonal cosmos of colliding, swirling matter. Strengths. Democritus created the first fully mechanistic metaphysics. Democritus trusted reason and mathematics over mythology or authority. And Democritus was the forefather of materialism and reductionism. Limitations. Democritus had no experimentation or tools to validate his claims. He over-relied on abstraction. He had no model or emergence or complexity in life forms. Questions and conclusions for Masters of Rhetoric, episode number 10, Democritus and the Atom. Number 1. Was Democritus's vision of invisible particles a case of reason surpassing sensory limits or an early form of speculative metaphysics? Number 2. How does the atomism of Democritus differ from the atomism of modern physics, and does that difference matter in evaluating his legacy? Why did Plato and Aristotle marginalize or ignore atomism? And what does that tell us about the politics of philosophical legacy? Number 4. Does Democritus's worldview leave space for meaning, value, or purpose, or does his reductionism risk erasing the human dimension of existence? Number 5. Is the story of the dusty shed and particles in the light a literal inspiration or a symbolic myth? And how does such things help us grasp unseen truths? Until next time, this has been Masters of Rhetoric. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep trying to master rhetoric.